Hello and welcome to taking apart a humbucker pickup. Here's our humbucker. On the top, we have our bobbins with slugs and screws. On the bottom, we have our base plate with brass screws holding the bobbins in place, and then the screws from the top are running through and sticking out the bottom. Here is our braided hookup wire, vintage style, which has the shield wrapping and then the hot inner connection surrounded by cloth. Now the mystery is what is in the middle. Looking in, we can actually see, based on the last video, what's going on here. We have our hookup wire, which is running along here, and we know it has to be grounded, so it'll probably be soldered in the middle. We have a keeper bar that's holding the screws in place. We have a magnet that's magnetizing the whole thing. We have the slugs, which don't go through the bottom, but are still sitting there. And then we have this maple spacer bar that's propping the bobbin up. And then underneath the tape is the copper wire that's wrapped 5,000 times a piece around each bobbin. So, seeing that from the outside, let's take a look on the inside. So all we have to do is unscrew these 4 brass screws. 1, 2, 3. The screws are magnetized, so it fights the screwdriver. 4. Now, if you were doing this on a production pickup, production pickups are usually potted, which means this whole thing is dipped in wax. So when you take these screws out, it's still going to be usually held together by the wax substance. So when you pull the base plate off, that wax is going to pop, and you're going to end up with waxy crap all over your surface. These are not potted, so we don't have that problem. The other thing, if you were going to take apart a pickup on your own, is the connection wires, which you'll be able to see on one side, unless they're under tape, which you can cut off. The connection wires are very fragile, so if you don't want to be doing a resolder, you're going to want to open this very carefully like this, so that it doesn't rip these wires. I can't take this all the way off because of how the soldering was done by me, but we'll be able to see what's going on. Here we have our connection wire, which is soldered. It's a pretty rough solder joint. I can do it. This is my second pickup I ever wound, so you know we're gonna redo that. But yeah, so here's the hookup wire grounded to the base plate, and then on the inside we have the keeper bar holding the screws in place. Not really holding them in place, they would be there anyway. I don't fully understand why the keeper bar has to be there besides propping up the bobbin, which it does well. Then we have the magnet in the middle, and then we have the slugs that stick out from the bottom. You can see that. Not enough to lift the bobbin more than this side because they're about the same distance as the keeper bar and the magnet, so everything's a flush height. And then what fell out was the spacer bar, which lives on that side there, underneath this bobbin to prop it up. And that's it. Keeper bar, magnet, spacer bar, and then the shielded wire, which is soldered to the base plate for grounding. And then on this side is all the hookup wires, very crudely done by me, again, as my second pickup. My newer ones look a lot better than this. But that's it. That's a disassembled humbucker pickup.